high. Still waiting for an official confirmation, but Pahalgam, one of the most popular and crowded tourist destinations of Jammu and Kashmir, not very far from Srinagar itself, is the epicenter of paradise bleeding tonight. The terror attack on tourists in Pahalgam, let's make no mistake, is more than just a strike. We're still dealing with the fallout because the numbers are truly scary. Sources are telling us 26 people may have been killed. It's a chilling violation of a long-standing, unwritten rule in Kashmir that tourists are off limits for terror. Visitors bring livelihood, hope, and stability to the region. And for decades, even the worst terror outfits knew that targeting them would hurting locals more than the state. As Home Minister Amit Shah gets set to arrive in Srinagar very shortly to take stock, let's remember this is the first attack on tourists since 2017 and the first since Article 370 was scrapped in 2019. Even more worrying is the timing. It comes just after the Jammu and Kashmir elections, during a year when Kashmir saw record-breaking tourist footfalls, new cinemas, packed restaurants, and a sense of cautious normalcy returning to the valley. Now, in one calculated act of violence, that fragile picture is under threat, and the timing is no coincidence. Prime Minister Modi is in Saudi Arabia. The US Vice President Vance is in India. This was about optics. Let's not have any doubts about that. Maximum disruption during maximum diplomacy. That's what the Pakistan-sponsored terrorists wanted to achieve today. The death toll is high. We're waiting for an official confirmation, and we hope it doesn't go any higher. But the symbolism is devastating. Innocent tourists, and the videos are too scary to share. Gunned down by Pakistan-backed cowards, a red line crossed, terrifying images of the carnage, some of which we're showing you very hesitatingly, are viraling across social media and WhatsApp, driving that old cold fear into the hearts of vacationers who had even considered a holiday on beautiful Kashmir. Remember, 2023 and 24 recorded record tourism inflows into the beautiful state and now Union Territory. For the Indian government, the response will now be watched closely. We don't know what it is. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, arrives in Srinagar to a jumble of challenges, and I'm going to be addressing each of those one by one with our panel of reporters. The likely exodus of tourists. Imagine the fear among people holidaying right now in J&K. That's the immediate challenge. The upcoming Amarnath Yatra. And how will India act? Delhi has already set a clear precedent, viewer, of hard responses to terror in the past. It cannot afford ambiguity now, and the government knows it, but these are early minutes. I don't want to jump the gun. Right now, the country is still coming to terms with the scale of this tragedy, and there will be an official word very shortly. The world is watching, but more importantly, so are the terror sponsors. India must and likely will act not just to punish, but to re-establish that it matters, because this isn't just about a tragic attack in a tourist town. It's about the credibility of India's promise that its citizens and its guests, because people come from all over the world to see the paradise that is Jammu and Kashmir, will and should be protected. I want to go straight to the ground to our reporters. Nazir Masoodi is in Pahalgam, which is a hill station in the Anantnag district, not very far from Srinagar, a 3-hour drive from the capital of the Union Territory. Aishwarya Jain has been tracking internal security and the Home Ministry. There was a big huddle in Delhi led by Home Minister Amit Shah before he departed. He's in the air now and will be landing in Srinagar very shortly. Nazir, I'd like to come to you first. Nazir, remember, is the most experienced J&K reporter in the country. He has seen every twist and turn over the last few decades that has led up to this point and has the finest perspective. He's on ground zero, where not very far from where the terror attack actually took place. Nazir, the latest that we're hearing is that security forces operations have begun, presumably cordon and search operations in the area surrounding Pahalgam will be happening right now. Obviously, we can't go into specifics, but what can you tell us?
Well, Shiv, the magnitude of attack tells us the response would not be just an operation in Pahalgam. It may go beyond Pahalgam, beyond Valley also. Because clearly what has happened is unimaginable perhaps the response may be the same. What I am seeing here behind me, the number of ambulances and the security men, and the number of ambulances tells us the casualties also. The sorties army helicopters, choppers have made tells us the number of casualties. What we are hearing from the source is 26. And we only hope it is only that, doesn't go beyond that. But the way innocent people were killed today in Pahalgam's Baisaran Meadow, it clearly shows that the attack is beyond killing these innocent people. It is telling tourists, don't come to Kashmir.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to you. That has been the, if you hear recently what Pakistan's army chief said,
Yes,
it is our jugular vein. And following that, we see this major attack. And militancy is not something new. It is not the first attack, but there was a halt. And also there was an unwritten rule. They will not touch tourists, because it is not just killing the innocent tourists, it is killing the economy of people, image of Kashmir, destroying it. And it is me, it is anyone, any other Kashmiri. So this attack is it is not just in the magnitude, the number of people who have been killed, over a dozen who are injured. They have been shifted to hospital. Home Minister himself coming all the way from Delhi, reaching here. He may have reached by now to Srinagar, chairing a security review meeting, then may visit here also Pahalgam. This also shows the seriousness with which the government of India has taken it. Prime Minister himself calling Home Minister from Saudi Arabia, and that shows it has been taken very, very seriously at the highest level, and the amount of condemnation, and more importantly, why this day was chosen.
yes.
American US Vice President is in India. And remember, in March 2000, 35 Sikhs were killed in Singapore by terrorists that time. And that time, then US President Bill Clinton was in India. And whenever there has been any high-profile visit, there's always attempt
and
or
Nazir,
a target.
you're right, that old cold fear of the kind of terror where all bets are off, where the old promises that tourists are off limits for violence, all that has completely evaporated in the last few hours. And that really, really is terrifying, not just for the tourists, but for the people in Pahalgam and beyond. How are they going to, survive the rest of this season with no tourists coming? And you can be sure that people will already be cancelling plans to come to Kashmir. Aishwarya, I want to quickly come to you, because that big meeting happened in Delhi, chaired by the Home Minister before he departed. He's in the air right now in his special aircraft. He'll be landing in Srinagar airfield very, very shortly. Just take us through procedurally what happens once he reaches Srinagar. I presume he'll get a full top-level security brief, and then maybe tomorrow morning head to the site.
Well, and I was told that as soon as the information came to the national capital, Home Minister was in direct touch with the top security officials in Srinagar today since afternoon, and a series of meetings was held in the national capital itself. It was IB Chief and Home Secretary that were present at Home Minister residence since 3:30 p.m. and they were at Home Minister's residence till he left at around 6:40 p.m. to Srinagar, after Prime Minister gave him directions to leave and take care of the situation, to bring back peace and normalcy in Pahalgam, in that particular region. But we have been told that just in few minutes from now, Home Minister Amit Shah will be landing in Srinagar. He would be directly heading to the Raj Bhavan over there. And at Raj Bhavan, there will be a top security review meeting that will take place with all the major agencies that would be there. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha was already in the national capital, and he flew together with Home Minister Amit Shah. He was there in that particular meeting alongside with the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Umar Abdullah, via video conferencing today before he left from the national capital. So Amit Shah in action in Srinagar. Tomorrow he might be visiting the site as well. The anti-operations against terrorism had already been launched over there. Helpline numbers are being issued, and Ministry of
Yes.
Home Affairs are directly touched with the local support over there.
And I want to tell all of our viewers that all of those helpline numbers that Aishwarya was referring to are on our screen. You can see them at the bottom of our screen. Should you need any information, you can refer to it. We'll be flashing it periodically. Nazir, before I let you go, I know you need to track everything that's happening because Amit Shah will be landing very, very shortly. The Prime Minister personally spoke to the Home Minister, and asked him to make his way to Srinagar as quickly as possible. It's going to be a difficult night tonight, Nazir, because the terrorists are still at large. Obviously, we can't have immediate updates on what the security operations are looking like, but that may have also been factored into the timing of the attack. Attack at a time where the security forces have less of a window to be able to actually chase them and give them time to run away.
Well, there would be perhaps Home Minister will be asking some tough questions to the security agencies because he recently visited here, reviewed the security situation, had 360-degree view of the situation, but nobody had an inkling that there could be such an attack of this magnitude, that too in Pahalgam. And that is not just you go and launch an operation, as I said. It is another Pulwama type attack. That time 40 CRPF persons were killed in a suicide attack, and this time it is much worse because innocent tourists were killed, and the message is much more chilling. And they want to send a message to tourists: don't come to Kashmir. That is the main. And the government's effort has to be that they ensure that it should not stop the influx of tourists, though it is not an easy task because you have to give them sense of confidence, and they want to actually break that sense of confidence that Kashmir is peaceful, Kashmir is normal, and that's what they have tried to do it here. And Amarnath Yatra is just 2 months away, and Pahalgam is the base camp of Amarnath Yatra. It is the traditional route. Those who know scriptures, they only follow Pahalgam route. They don't follow the Baltal route because this is the traditional base camp and the route for the Amarnath Yatra, and they have chosen this place to target innocent tourists today and kill more than 26, what we know so far. So the Home Minister is reaching here, reviewing the security situation. And as I said, it's not just about this operation. Clearly, militancy is a complex problem. It's not a new problem. It's not go away just because of one operation, terrorists would be killed. It is a much more serious problem. It has its own roots in Pakistan, and it has manifestation in the valley. And today it is the innocent tourists who have paid the price with their lives. And it would be a long night for their relatives. Many of them
it is going to be a sleepless night in Jammu and Kashmir. It's going to be a sleepless night across the country because these are innocent tourists who've been butchered while they were on holiday. In fact, Nazir, you've got something for us.
Yeah, let me show that this is the security. They have coming from only from this Baisan area. Baisan is behind me. It is a 1-hour walk from there. These people only track there because it's not motorable. The road is not there. So all the security men have gone there. They were actually part of this coordinate search operation here. You can see all these, in the black uniform, black commando uniform, the J&K policemen laying coordinate search operation. So it's going to be also a long night for the security force. I have already seen Chief Secretary, top officials already here in Pahalgam. And the first priority now is how to give best possible treatment to the injured. And I can show you medical officials also here. And the number of ambulances which are parked here tell you the magnitude of this situation here at Pahalgam.
And these are very, very dangerous moments. We wish all of our security personnel from the J&K Police, the Rashtriya Rifles and others Godspeed and safe operations. It's going to be a difficult one tonight. There are anxious families in different parts of the country, including in J&K, will be very, very worried tonight. I wanted to assure them that we will be tracking it very closely. Aishwarya and Nazir, thank you only for the moment. After this very, very brief break right here on India Matters, I'm going to bring onto the show one of the most respected voices on Kashmir. He's said some very strong things in the wake of what has happened today. You're going to hear it straight from him right after this.
Fenesta windows, beautiful and durable designs. Installation से maintenance की lifelong customer service. आपके घर में Fenesta नहीं है तो कॉल कीजिए.
Fine, finer, Fenesta.
More news that matters.
Big exclusive. Tulsi Gabbard.
All the parties should accept their verdict with all humility.
Why the opposition to it? Why taking big steps?
More debates that shake the system. More exclusives you won't find anywhere else. Not just another prime time.
Hello and welcome to The Southern View. I'm Veera Raghav.
This is the news break and I'm Vasudha Venugopal. This is The Last Word and I'm Maria Shakil.
Left, right and centre, and good evening and welcome.
It's a prime time that's unmissable.
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to India. It matters to India. And it matters to me. And it matters to me.
India Matters with Shiv Aroor. Only on NDTV 24/7.
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ.
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं.
The last one. You're on India Matters, and NDTV's rolling coverage of a big terror attack in Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir, where tourists have been targeted after many, many years. It's the big story in the country. Huge amount of suspense as Home Minister Amit Shah is all set to land in the capital of J&K very shortly to take things forward. I want to bring onto India Matters tonight someone who has lived in Kashmir, who has observed Kashmir both from within and from the outside for many years, written about it, written best-selling books about life in Kashmir and beyond, and someone who understands it perhaps better than anyone else, the very respected journalist and author Rahul Pandita, who's also my friend. Rahul, welcome. I wish these were under better circumstances. Terrifying numbers. Nothing official is out yet. But the pictures I'm sure you've seen already, Rahul, painting a truly extreme picture of what really must have taken place, even if you look at just what's come out in those viral videos. Your initial words on this incident, Rahul?
A terrible intelligence failure, Shiv. All our hard work in Kashmir since August 2019 has come to naught. All this while, we have managed to dominate Kashmir Valley in terms of laying a very, very robust security grid, which had made the movement of terrorists from one district to another very difficult. But today's attack has made one thing clear, that there is a presence of foreign terrorists. It's very well known. They are present in the upper reaches of South Kashmir, especially in Kokarnag area, etc., which is not far from where this attack has happened today. But today, they have come down and they have made their move.
Yeah.
And they have made their motive clear. And by they, I mean Pakistan. Today's massacre must be seen in the light of what the Pakistan Army Chief, General Munir, said recently. His anti-Hindu rant, his validation of two-nation theory. Everything which has happened today, the targeting of innocent civilians, reeks of that symbolism, Shiv. As your correspondent Nazir was saying, Pahalgam is a very important place. In less than 2 months, it will become the base camp for the holy Amarnath pilgrimage in Kashmir Valley, which is now visited by millions of people, really. So, really a very big task ahead for security forces. In 2019, when Pulwama happened, you and I know that, in terms of a security response, a sort of a Rubicon was crossed.
Yeah.
But I think now the time has come, like I said in my posts on X, that this response, the response against today's attack, has to really go beyond the symbolism of Balakot. We must go beyond, using our assets to give us a GPS coordinate for a particular place. This response must be very, really, really immediate. And we must see the smoke from the venue where Mr. Dulat recently launched his book in the national capital, and I advise us to move forward with Pakistan. There's absolutely no moving forward with Pakistan.
Let's be specific, Rahul. What are you suggesting? Not in terms of just the response, but what are you hoping to see as far as next steps are concerned? I completely agree with you, that Rubicons, have ceased to matter now. If the scale of what we're hearing has actually happened, and it's likely to be confirmed very, very shortly, what, in your view, do you think needs to happen specifically?
I think, first of all, we should have been prepared for it. Like Nazir was saying, this has not happened for the first time. The American Vice President J.D. Vance is here. We've seen what happened when the former American President Bill Clinton was here in the year 2000. A terrible, terrible massacre happened in the Sikh village of Chitti Singhpora, leading to the massacre of 35 people. If we keep Pulwama aside, because it was an attack against the armed forces, I think it's the biggest attack in Kashmir Valley since the really, really terrible 2001 assembly attack, in which I think about 30 to 35 people were killed. Now, this really needs a response, like I said, which will go beyond the symbolism of Balakot. We must, first of all, understand that Pakistan is not letting it go. And now that country must feel pressure for what it has done. There should be no ambiguity, like you said in the opening remarks. Who is behind this? It is Pakistan. It is their intelligence agency, ISI. The TRF, which is a proxy of Lashkar, is their pit bull. Nothing happens in Kashmir. No terrorist attack happens in Kashmir without the know-how of Pakistani security establishment. So our response should show to the world means to us. Otherwise, we'll be in for a big embarrassment, the kind of embarrassment we faced after the Mumbai terror attacks.
Well, because, the yardstick has already been set. The benchmark has already been set. No matter what anyone says about the 2016 Uri strikes and in Balakot, that precedent as far as action is concerned has been set. And that's going to be an element of pressure perhaps already on the government, even though we don't want to sort of second guess what that response will be. It will be at a time and place of India's choosing, but it will have to happen and be seen to happen. Rahul, the dynamic on the ground, you've spent a long time, in Kashmir, in the hinterland as well. Pahalgam is one of those places where there's almost a kind of social compact that, tourists are off limits for any kind of violence or threats because they bring the livelihood, for local businesses and the local population. What could have made, terror groups in Pakistan violate that? I mean, that has held largely for a long time.
I think it's been, by and large, an unwritten rule in Kashmir Valley that tourists will not be targeted. Though there have been some, attacks against tourists in the last 20, 25, 30 years. But this is by far the biggest attack in Kashmir Valley. I have been to Kashmir Valley at times where there has been, there have been big attacks against security forces. But just a few miles down, there was absolute normalcy, in terms of tourist response in places like Pahalgam, even in the heart of Srinagar. But as we speak now, Shiv, it has already created a terrible sense of fear among tourists. I'm told, I was just speaking to a couple of my sources just before we started this program. The airport is packed. Tourists are getting away in huddles. They're trying to get anything they can in cabs, buses from really popular tourist destinations like Pahalgam, Gulmarg, Sonamarg, etc., etc. But I think what has happened right now is very clear in the sense that this shows Pakistan's frustration. Its inability to do something really concrete from their point of view in Kashmir from August 2019, from the abrogation of Article 370. That is why you see a lot of action in terms of JASH modules has moved to places which were not, the security grid was not, has not been dominant in Jammu region. We've seen a number of attacks happening in Jammu region, in Kathua, Udhampur. A lot of infiltration has happened along the international border. Now, from that, we're trying to control that situation in Jammu region.
Very true,
this attack, this big attack, replete with symbolism of all kinds. That is what General Muri said, that Kashmir remains our jugular vein, and this is what they have tried to prove through this dastardly attack today.
Terrifying that it's happened just a few days after that very, very inflammatory speech. Rahul, appreciated it. Once again, I wish these were in better circumstances, but I have a feeling we're going to be meeting again on this show this week. This is by far the biggest story in the country at this point of time, and we will be tracking every little aspect of it. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, who's been dispatched to J&K by the Prime Minister, who, remember, is in Saudi Arabia right now, but obviously keeping live tabs on everything that's happening. Amit Shah is going to be landing in Srinagar very shortly. I want to get a quick update from Aishwarya Jain, who tracks internal security and the Ministry of Home Affairs. Aishwarya, it's going to be a long night in Srinagar and for the entire internal security apparatus. This was supposed to be the busy holiday and tourist season in J&K, and it has, in the last few hours, become India's biggest internal security incident of 2025, and for many years, actually.
Well, and the priorities are set for the Home Minister as far as the situation is concerned. Currently, they wanted to, get all the terrorists out from that zone as soon as possible, provide as much as help, the medical aid that they needed, and therefore helpline numbers had been issued. What we have been told is Home Minister Amit Shah will be very shortly landing in Srinagar, and as soon as he will land, he will be heading to Raj Bhavan. There first round of security meeting with the top officials of all those agencies who are deployed for the security concerns in the valley would be attending alongside with the Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha, and then rest assured as to how much security forces more needs to be deployed in that area, and how to pull out the locals from those areas as well, and of course to neutralize those terrorists to recce in and around. So major task ahead, and this will go for the entire night, because tomorrow we have been told that Home Minister might visit that spot as well where the terrorism activity had taken place. But before that, the security agencies wanted to make sure that everything is under control.
Remember that Pahalgam is one of at least 2 or 3 big and popular tourist destinations in Jammu and Kashmir. I myself have been there a number of times, both on work as well as on holiday. It's an absolutely stunning piece of what is rightfully called paradise, and it is bleeding tonight, viewer. The number we're hearing is 26. Official numbers and an official statement are still to emerge, but we will get that very, very shortly once a statement is due. We don't know if there will be a statement tonight. It's possible that there won't be, because information is still trickling in. And I will continue to track it overnight with our team in Srinagar, in Pahalgam, and across the country where many of those tourists have come from. We're handing you over now to Maria, who's taking forward our coverage on this terrible, terrible attack.
Yes, Shiv, let's get more details from the ground. This is the last word, and I'm Maria Shakir. Several tourists were killed and many others injured in a terrorist attack in Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir today. Military choppers have been pressed into service for the evacuation of those injured in this attack. In a telephonic conversation, Prime Minister Narendra Modi asked Union Home Minister to visit the attack site and take all suitable measures. Mr. Shah will arrive shortly in Srinagar. and he will be holding a high-level security review meeting with all the agencies. Gunshots were